No, and don't ask again. No. Could I line up 15 men? I'm just riffing here. Could I line up 15 men and just jack them off? For a laugh. If you want, yeah. It would be difficult, wouldn't it? Jacking off 15 men at once. It would be like plate spinning. Wouldn't it? No. Because you could only do two at once, really, so you'd have these two ready to blow, but then they'd be losing it, and you'd go, fucking hell. Oh, here we go. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Ain't it knackering, jacking off 15 men at once? Never thought I'd say that. Oh. Again. No. There's these people that say being gay isn't natural. Well, it is natural, and I've got a book to prove it. Homosexuality occurs in about the same incidents in the animal kingdom as it does in human society. This is a real book. It's called Biological Exuberance, Animal Homosexuality and Natural Diversity by Bruce Bagamill, okay? The evidence is compelling, and it seems there is virtually no species which does not have its gay community. That doesn't mean like chimps on one particular street wearing leather caps and stuff. It just... they sort of spread it out more, really. This is a real book. Can we have the first slide, please? Right, okay. Right. This is a real book, okay? Right? Absolutely real, okay? Two male stump-tailed macaques in mutual fellatio. They're sharing it around. Next slide. Okay. A male squirrel monkey, right, performing a genital display toward another male. He's just going, what do you think of that? And this one's going, what? Suck it. Look at his little hand. Why? Because we're gay. I'm not, you fucking are. Look at the way he's holding him, and he's got his leg up for extra purchase. He's gone, get in there, get in there, get in there. Look at him. Can you imagine my face when I discovered this book? Next slide, please. Okay. A female Olympic marmot mounting another female. Now, I don't know what is in that for either of them. Unless the one on top is wearing a strap-on dildo. One more slide. Oh, this is a doozy. Okay. Two forms of copulation between male dolphins. Genital slit or anal penetration above, and below, blowhole penetration. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Basically, he is fucking him in the head. It's in the head. He's fucking him in the head, ladies. I have never seen that on any wildlife documentary. Why have I never seen that before? Why are they doing that? Maybe it's not in the wild. Maybe it's in SeaWorld, which is like their prison. And they're going, fuck's sake. They put in two males. Some people think we're fish, we might as well fucking do it, okay? I mean, look at his face. He's going, Dave? What? Could we not do it up the arse like them? No. It's in the head or nothing. Dave, what? What? Dave, I love you. But I can't fucking breathe. That is a real book. That is a real book. Can we have that? Look. I love the fact that he found like a turkey in drag to show how gay animals can be. The gayest animal in the world. I hope I haven't offended anyone with any of the subject. No, I do. That's not the point. I don't try and offend. If I have offended anyone, and I'm sure I have, I don't apologise. No, I think you should. You have to be able to justify everything you do. And I just think that a comedian should take you to taboo places you haven't been before. Otherwise, you could do it yourself. There's enough anodyne comedy out there just doing things, obvious stuff that, doesn't make any difference at all. And there's this spate of comedians saying sorry when they go too far. I just think, you should... They go, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. Well, you should know better then. There's also a witch hunt at the moment with people saying, oh, is there anything you shouldn't make a joke about? No, there's nothing you shouldn't joke about. It depends what the joke is. Comedy comes from a good or a bad place, and it's for you to decide what that is. And I think that there's a big debate about sick jokes, or comedians doing sick jokes. Now, the thing about sick jokes, when we tell a sick joke, it's with the express understanding that neither party is really like that. I wouldn't tell a sick joke to a known pedophile. I wouldn't go, here, mate, you're going to fucking love this more than anyone, son. Do you know And I've never been in trouble for anything I've said in my professional career because I refuse to apologise. What can they do to you? Growing up, you try things out and you get taken the wrong way a little bit. Not like the dolphin. I mean, not... When I was about 23, 24, me and my girlfriend met up with this other couple. They'd moved down from the north of England to London. They used to come in the place I used to work, and we had a couple of drinks with them. They were cool people and they were fun. And after we'd met them a couple of times, they invited us to a party at their house. We went along. One, it was a dinner party, which they hadn't warned us about. But two, it was for their family that had come down from the north to see how they were getting on. And it was both their parents and grandparents and great uncles, average age about 85, right? And I think we were an afterthought. We thought, oh God, we don't know anyone our age. Oh, that Ricky and Jane, right? So we went along, and we were still getting to know them, so we just spoke to them all night. We didn't really mingle with the older people. And as I say, we use comedy as a sword and a shield and a medicine, but usually as a getting to know you, okay? We use comedy to break the ice. Are you like-minded? What can you take? What do you like? And I've always sort of pushed the boundaries a little bit to try and make people laugh at things they didn't think they could. But, but then, everything turns out okay, I suppose. And I started off lightly. I told this joke. Why did the little girl fall off the swing? Because she had no arms. Yeah, sweet. And they laughed a little bit louder than that. There was only two of them, so thanks, right? No, so I thought, okay, they get it. They like so, and so you up the ante a little bit. I don't you push. And I told this joke. Oh, I need a drink. Start the car? Seriously? Right. I told this joke. Made sure the old people couldn't hear. Like that. I went, okay. Father, sitting at home, just reading the newspaper. This little girl comes running in. She's only 6. Hello, darling. Hello, Daddy. You've been playing? Yeah. In the park? Yeah. With your friends? Well, until the man came along. Till the man came along? Yeah, a man came along, and he asked my friends to leave, so it was just me and him. Darling, come over. Whatever happened, none of it was your fault, okay, darling? None of it was your fault. But tell Daddy every detail. What happened? He took me behind a tree so no one could see what we were doing. Oh, God, darling, and then what happened? He took my dress off. Oh, God, what happened next? What happened? He took his thing out. Oh, God, darling, and then what happened? Nothing, that was it. Oh, we'll make something up. Don't tell anyone that. I want it to be a surprise. So I told that joke, carried on, getting a bit drunker, telling jokes. Eventually we sat down for the meal about 9:45. They put 2 tables together, and the host sat at either end, and they put me in the middle, opposite this very sweet but very deaf sort of 80-year-old man. So conversation was a bit stilted. And after about 20 minutes, Ian, one of the hosts, pipes up and says, "Oh, Ricky, tell that joke." I went, "What?" All the old people went, "Oh, we love jokes. Do you?" I looked at Ian, and Ian went, "Be fine." I went, "Okay." And he got on with this conversation. And so they're all like that. I went, father sitting at home reading the paper. Little girl comes running, told the whole joke, got to the bit, "We'll make something up." They went, silence. I looked at Ian, he went, "Not that one." Thank you so much, you've been fantastic. Good night. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I fucking love Chicago. Isn't it brilliant? Isn't it amazing? Just the best time. Thank you so much. I tell you, I'd risk coming again through volcanic ash clouds. Anything to go. It's fantastic. Terrorist attack. I've actually always been a nervous flyer, to be honest. And I flew a few weeks after 9/11, and after 9/11, the world went a little bit crazy. You know, understandably, the rules changed, and there was a lot of anger and fear and confusion and finger pointing. And I'd always consider myself quite a rational, liberal sort of guy, and I tried to remain that way after 9/11. And even in in the pub with mates, I'd be the ones going, "No, you can't say that. No, that's a generalisation. That's ridiculous. No, that's unfair. You can't tar everyone with the same brush. No, it's still the safest form of transport. It's 16 million to 1, the chance of trying to be rational." That's in a pub. When I'm flying, it's more like, "Check him again. Can we check him again? He's getting on this, but do you mind if I check him? Can I just... And after 9/11, with all the checks, I still tried to remain sort of rational and philosophical. I was thinking, right, it's harder now than it ever was to get a bomb on the plane. This is, the restrictions are tight. It's safer now. And then I found out that a terrorist doesn't even have to get on the plane now with a bomb. They found heat-seeking missiles, and they could just park up in some sort of lay-by and take the plane out within the first 10 minutes of takeoff. So now I'd be on the plane going, right, we're out of range. Who's got the bomb, right? And as I say, I flew a couple of weeks after 9/11, internal flight, and we're up in the air. I'd done the thing right, we're out of range, right, okay, right. And I was still a bit nervous, and I said to the air hostess, I said, "Have you got any magazines?" 11. Surely a new rule book went round. Don't mention 9/11 when you're handing out the coffee. Just, do you know what I mean, right? 2, don't say severe cutbacks. Severe cutbacks. If someone says that, I don't think of magazines anymore. I think of a bloke in an aircraft hangar earlier that week going, "Do we really need all these rivets?" It's just... What terrible bedside manner. I mean, I take first-class flights everywhere. I know you wouldn't have it any other way. I'd do it for you, really. Some of the flights I take cost £10,000, okay? And for £10,000 in a disaster, I expect the front end of my plane that I'm in to gently break off and float down to a desert island. It doesn't. I'll die with the rest of you fucking losers. That's not fair, is it? I know you tried to save me, but you couldn't. We'd just be on the news. I'd probably be the only one get name-checked on the news. You'd be 230 others, but which is some consolation. But anyway, so, okay. Once I was flying back from New York, okay, 9:25, a Saturday night, JFK to London Heathrow. BA, first class. Okay, now, this is my point. It's fear that threatens rational thought, I think, okay? I'm there. Now, the whole week leading up to that flight, I don't know if you remember it, or it's happened more than once, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago, on every news channel in America, there was a rolling ticker tape that said, America on red alert. We've had intel, there's going to be another 9/11 in a major city, probably New York or LA, okay, this weekend. Do not fly unless you absolutely had to, right? I had to, I was filming. And, right, so, I'm the only one in the first class lounge, okay? And I still tried to remain rational. I was thinking, no, it's safer now. Everyone's looking for a terrorist today. They'll leave it till Monday, right? And then it happened. The thing that threatened my rational thought. I had a bit of a mini breakdown. Into the first class lounge, about 30 minutes before boarding, came this guy. I don't know whether he was North African or Middle Eastern or Asian, but he had all the gear, right? Beard, steered attaché case, okay? And here's your middle class sort of liberal. I went, I was suddenly engaging staff in sort of banal conversation, going, flight on time? They're going, yeah. What's the weather like in London? Like they were going to go, it's a bit cloudy, but there he is, right? Didn't happen, so I'm left there, right? And I'm looking over at him, and I'm thinking of all the running up to it, and the week, all the news and everything. But now there's a fight between good and evil, between rational and irrational, okay? This one goes, ooh, that's a suicide bomber. Oh, don't be stupid, of course it isn't. It is. How do you know? That's what they look like. What? Beard. Don't be stupid, right? Then he makes a phone call, and I couldn't understand what he was saying, but he sounded a bit angry, okay? This one goes, oh, we made a phone call, right? This one, no, you just made a phone call. Yeah, but not in foreign. Right? So shut up, right? He's been checked, like the rest of us have been checked. Did they check the beard? Yeah, they checked the beard. Yeah, they checked the beard, right? And then I'm looking at him, must have been absent-minded with all this going on in my head, and he catches me looking, and he does this. He goes, oh, he knows, right? This one goes, no, he knows why you're looking at him. He's had that sort of prejudice for months now. Stop looking at him. The beard. Yeah, right? But this one starts winning. The fear starts beating all the rational thought in the world. This guy's going, no, but it could be. Well, yeah, it could be. Probably not. Well, no. The stats are up today. Yeah, but still, it won't happen. Don't say it won't happen to us. People of 9/11 said it wouldn't happen to them. Yeah, but all the tests, yeah, well, they find new ways of getting through our detection, then we have to up again. Yeah, you're right. And suddenly I thought, oh my God, this is it. This is it. And that wave of nausea, and you suddenly realise, oh my God, I'm witnessing this. This one goes, okay, right, let's report him. This one goes, no. Why? In case someone thinks we're racist. No, fuck that. Let's report him and be a wrong, embarrassed, live racist, just in case, right? And I go, no, so I don't. And so now I think he is a suicide bomber, and I think I'm going to get on the plane and die, but I'm not going to do anything about it. And I'm nearly in tears. And all this happens in a few moments. And I look over, and he's joined by his wife, who's got all the gear, and his two little girls, okay? And I suddenly go, oh, of course he's not a fucking suicide bomber. If you're off to see 72 virgins, you don't take the wife and kids along. Right? So, no, true. And I got on the plane, and of course he wasn't a terrorist, and I was sort of a bit embarrassed, and I saw the funny side of it, and I was relieved and everything. And he was a businessman and a family man. He was playing with his two little girls who kept running up and down and banging into my chair. He wasn't doing anything about that at all, okay? Nothing about that at all, okay? And he was sort of chasing them, and they were squealing really hard, going through it. After half an hour, I was hoping someone would blow the fucking plane up, to be honest. But a really weird thing happened during that period. I got so paranoid about terrorist attack that I started taking private jets and helicopters everywhere just because I was so rich. No. No, again, my philosophy was, I'm the only person on this plane and I definitely haven't got a bomb. So we're all right, you know. And I was taking a helicopter one day and I was waiting on a helipad, okay. Rewind 2 days before that. I'm at home, having my cereal, my Cheerios, and there's a carton of milk there with the missing person things on the back. And I've seen 1,000 of them, okay. This one was slightly different because it was a missing child, which is always sadder. Well, no. It's sad when anyone goes missing, but presumably because of her age, this was an abduction, and you know. And it was also the language. It was a plea from the mother, and it was the wording. She just said the name of the little girl, which I won't say. I remember it, and the day and place where she was last seen. And she just said, 5 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, always happy. Please help me. And it must have stayed with me. 2 days later, I'm there. It's like a wharf development, waiting for this helicopter. And I'm looking down onto sort of some disused sort of warehouse space. And looking one, right? And someone had put up a brown blanket with this duct tape, okay, as like a curtain. And it had fallen away. And I can see in, this is a true story, it's an empty room, apart from a mattress. And on the mattress is a little girl with her hands tied. And my fucking heart, 5 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes, always happy, crying her eyes out. What? It couldn't have been her, I left it. Thanks very much, you've been amazing. Good night, Chicago. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, everyone.